What's up, everybody? Brett here, my YouTube channel Good Talk Gaming, and we're going to be playing some Slay the Spire today. So for those of you who may be brand new to my channel, maybe have never seen this game before, I used to play a lot of this on the channel when I first started making videos. It's one of my favorite games. I haven't played it for a while, but I realized the other day that I was doing a bit of a series and I stopped without finishing. And what I mean by that is, when the game launched and kind of its full release state, there were 3 main characters to choose from, and I went ahead and beat the game with the first character, then the second character, which I've done many times. And the third character, I have yet to do it post-launch. And the third character is, of course, the Defect, for those of you not familiar. The first character, the Ironclad, we did that run. It was successful. The second character, the Silent, we did that run as well. And now we're on to the Defect. So for those of you who aren't familiar, this is a card game. It's a bit of a rogue-like indie game. It's I don't know, some people that turns them off, but wait, if you're getting ready to turn off the video, wait a second, let's get into it. It's got some really cool kind of like RPG elements to it, in terms of like collecting these relics and putting together your deck. It's a lot of customization, and there are a lot of random events that can kind of give you a story to go along with your run. So this could be anywhere from a 30-minute we lose to like an hour-and-a-half epic run. So buckle up and wish me luck. So our character here is the Defect, a combat automaton, which became self-aware. Ancient technology allows the manipulation of orbs. So he has a unique mechanic that the other two don't have, and it revolves around these kind of orbs that circle him. And his relic that he starts with is called the Cracked Core. At the start of each combat, channel 1 lightning, and we'll get into that, what that means for those of you who aren't familiar, who are maybe seeing this for the first time. But when we beat the game with the first 2 guys, it kind of unlocked something at the end of the run. And I don't know what it is. I want to know what it is. So in order to complete the little Triforce thing, we've got to beat it with the 3rd guy. So let's jump in. And let's talk to the Space Whale, or whatever he is, and see what he wants to give us. Lose your starting relic, obtain a random boss relic. Could be powerful. I really like the starting relics. I usually don't get rid of them. I don't want to curse this early on. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take an extra 100 gold. That pretty much guarantees we're going to be able to get any kind of relic or great card that we want to pick up from the shops. Okay, so first boss here. This kind of tells you who it is. I forget some of the names. I haven't played in a while, but I am familiar with this boss, as I am with pretty much all bosses. And so what we want to do right now is go down the potential paths towards the boss and see which ones could potentially be the most lucrative. So generally, I want to take whichever paths allow me to fight the most number of elites. So all I see right now is I see paths to fight 2 here, and then to go this way and fight 2 that way. Each elite that you kill gives you another random relic. So, I mean, there's not really much difference that I'm seeing. If I go this way here, it lets me take quite a few shops along the way, which I like. So I think I'm going to do that. There might be a better way, like these here are randomized events, so that could be fun. You never really know what you're going to get. But I like the idea of taking 2 fights, hitting up this shop. We'll have, 250-ish gold, and we should be able to get something good from there, whether it be a card or a relic. Alright, so our basic deck here, 10 cards. Right now it's going to be mostly strikes and defends. These are the little louse guys. We need to pop their curl up and get them on the defensive. So we'll hit one, we'll hit the other, and then we'll defend. And we won't take any damage. That block that they get here only lasts for 1 turn. So they're going to web us, which makes us weak, 25% less damage on our attacks. But we didn't take any damage there, which is kind of the crucial thing. So here, so what we're hoping to do now is kill this guy. These each do 3 damage at the end of turn. Okay, we got super unlucky. We're going to take 2 damage, but that's not a problem. And we're almost certainly going to win this battle here, as you would expect, considering this is the first battle. Alright, so now we get a little bit of gold, we get to choose a card, And the first couple cards you pick can really determine what kind of build you're going to have. Auto Shields is decent. All cards have upgrade variants. So, same cost, but you get 4 more block. Not great. I'm leaning towards Cold Snap here. 9 damage and 1 frost is pretty good value. It's a strictly better version of the strikes we have in our deck currently. And then Turbo, gain 3 energy, which is how we play our cards, and add a void into your discard pile, which eventually gets shuffled back into your deck. And yeah, they consume energy when drawn. We don't want that. Let's take Cold Snap. It's just an all-around viable card. So just like the lightning orbs give us passive damage, the frost orbs give us passive block. And here we have an opportunity to do a lot of damage. I don't know if I want to evoke this. So you'll see here it says it has an evoke ability, which is 8 damage to a random enemy. If we evoke this twice, what we're basically doing is 16 damage here, which is honestly probably just straight up worth it. I think we're going to do it. But we miss out on the passive damage. We essentially pop the orb, and there it goes. So now we've got this cultist down to 20 HP. We're out of energy. And let's see what he does. He's going to give himself a ritual. So he's going to gain 3 strength, which is just going to buff his attack power. Perfect draw. So now we're going to get 2 block at the end of the turn. Play one of those, and we're going to be covered. Does 6 damage, we gain 7 block. He's going to be buffing himself up, but he should be dead this turn depending on how we draw. There we go. No big deal. So yeah, we're not quite at that 250 mark I was hoping to get to. But here, Go for the Eyes has some synergy with 0 cost attack cards. There is a deck that you can build that revolves around these. Leap is a very solid all-around great block card. Once again, just a strictly better defend. But I love the versatility of Cold Snap being both a defensive and an offensive, card. So I'm going to take another one of those, and I kind of like where we are right now with that. So we hit up our first shop. It's a very early shop. Oh, and we can't pick up Kunai. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dexterity. The dexterity lasts for the entirety of the battle. Would have loved to get that. We're just not quite in the money enough. The one that we can afford, combat reward screens now contain colorless cards and cards from other colors. I don't think we want this. Sad to say. We really want heavy synergy with the defect. We don't just want to be throwing out random cards. I like Hello World as a great power. And I have definitely done the power synergy deck, where you just play 1,000,000 powers and do a ridiculous amount of damage with cards that work with that. We don't have any cards that we want to remove, which we can do for 75 gold. And these potions here, of which we can hold 3 in our potion slots. We'll start getting these from random battles. We don't particularly need them. And some potions can give you permanent buffs, but none of these can. So I also would have liked to get Bottled Flame had I been able to afford it. This is the one I would have taken hands down. It's tempting to buy Hello World, but I think I'm going to leave here with all of my gold and just call that kind of a mulligan room. We didn't lose anything, as you often can. A note for yourself. You spot a loose brick within a pillar that catches your eye. You find a folded note and a card inside. It reads, "The heart awaits." This is your handwriting. Huh. I've never seen this before. This is a new event. This is an okay card. I mean, it's from another class. I don't know if... Okay, so we get to pick the card that we leave. That's good. Okay, so we're going to get rid of a defend. Very interesting. They're throwing in some kind of like weird time travel element there. Okay, let's head this way. Actually, do we want to go this way? I think we want to take as many rooms as we can before we get to this next shop. And then we'll head up here or here, depending on how much health we have. But yeah, let's try and get as much gold as we can. Okay, and sometimes the mysterious rooms can just hold enemies. So this is one of the parts of the game where something like Iron Wave comes in very handy. We got to do a little damage. We're going to completely protect ourselves on the opening attack. It's not the strongest card, but it's just very well balanced. And when it's upgraded, I think it's 7 and 7. 7 attack, 7 block. Let's get 2 Frost going. We could play a Zap. That'll do 8 damage, because we can only hold 3 orbs at once. I think if we just play a Defend here, we take no damage. So he's going to throw up some block. Maybe difficult to kill. And just be patient. Take our time. We've got him on the next round, for sure. Damage carries over battle to battle, so we need to be pretty conservative with our HP pool. So we get our first potion, skill potion. It'll give us a skill card that costs nothing. Recursion, I don't know if that was the best card there, but it lets us evoke an orb. We can look at the upgrade. Makes it free. So we'll see if that's something we end up keeping or getting rid of. So now we have the option to either go to sleep and heal, which we don't need, or to come in here and upgrade a card. So it's kind of funny we could upgrade Iron Wave. So it's really not that worth it. The 3 damage there is not great. Making dual cast free is quite nice. And then making recursion free is also nice. And I think I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the recursion that we just took. I like this. We're going to get to pop a lot of their little defensive buffs there. Get those going. We'll take 1 damage. And then this turn we should be able to knock them out. First floor. I should also say that we're on floor 1 of 3. So first floor, relatively easy. And then of course obviously it ramps up. Because by then you should have several relics giving you lots of different power-ups. Let's kill the louse that's doing damage to us. Kill the one that's buffing himself. And boom, we evoke for 8 and get the kill. Aggregate. This is a new card for me. Let's check it out. Every 5 cards in your draw pile. This would be great in decks that are huge. Let's say we just, by the end of this run, we have 40, 50 cards, you know. I don't quite like this. I really don't. I mean, I could see it working, but you could very easily get this later in the game, and it does nothing. Pile driver deals 7 damage. Okay, it's a better strike. Draw 1 card for each unique orb you have. It's not bad. And then barrage, which works really well with strength. I think I'm just going to take a compile driver. We don't have to take cards if we're worried about thinning out our deck with too many bad cards, but none of the cards we're taking are actually bad. They're just not particularly good. Okay. Let's look at the relics. Every 3 times you shuffle your draw pile, gain 2 energy. It's not terrible. Mummified Hand is one of the most powerful relics in the game. We're missing 2 gold to buy it, and this is the... If we could buy this, we would buy this right now, and then we would pick up every single power that we'd be able to get. And it would just almost auto-win the run with her for us. But that's unfortunately not going to happen right now. I think I'm just going to buy this newer relic. And I say newer because I haven't really seen this one very often. It's called Clockwork Souvenir. Start each combat with 1 artifact. And artifact negates the next debuff we receive. So that's kind of a cool one to pick up. And the cards, there are some very good cards here. Ball Lightning is a very simple good card. Loop is powerful in the power decks. But anyway, we'll see more as we go. I'm happy that we finally got a relic. And this room here with the treasure chest is simply a relic every single time. So whenever you rest, heal an additional 15. It's not necessary yet, And it also gave us a little bit of gold, which I think is new. I don't think those chests used to give you gold. We can remove a card from our deck. We don't have this option because we don't have any big damage cards. What would we remove? Probably just a basic strike, but lose 7 HP. We're just going to leave. It's not really worth it. There are events later in the game that allow you to get to convert your strikes and defends into other cards. Okay. This enemy is the Lagavulin. He's kind of like a little mini boss. And we're going to wake him up first turn. Because we have a hand that's just all damage. And you know what? We should pop this. But I wish I had done this before. You know what? Let's get charge battery. And he's not doing anything this turn, but it's going to give us an additional energy next turn. So yeah, we stunned him the first turn, but now he hits super hard. I'm happy to see Iron Wave. The question now is, I think we definitely want to do that. And of course we draw a Zap. Had we also had the Lightning Orb, we would have drawn 2 cards. But here, we can play both defends and only take 1 damage. With the Lagavulin, you want to burst him down as fast as possible, because he's going to do this kind of big damage every single turn. So if we get up lots of Frost Orbs, it's not bad. It's another 6. We're not taking much damage. So now he's going to hit us with some bad debuffs. We want to strike, zap, draw 2 cards. Fortunately, we can't play any of them. So luckily we negated the first part of his effect, but the other one was to lower our strength. So our damage is now decreased. Iron Wave is a given. Pop that. We'll deal 6, we'll go up to 17, block, take 1 damage. So we're making it through this fight. This can be a very difficult fight. Oh, I like this. You know what, let's dual cast. I don't think we're going to kill him this turn. I don't think there was any opportunity to do that. But we can defend quite well. Okay, let's hit him hard. And that's it. And luckily our evoke damage is not hampered by our strength debuff. So we get a new relic, Smiling Mask. The merchant's card removal service now always costs 50 gold. It's pretty garbage. It won't help us in any type of battle. This turn your next power card is played twice, once again in the power deck. Skim is a great card if you are able to, if you have a lot of energy, or if you have a very focused deck around probably discard, or I don't know. I mean, draw 3 cards for 1 is not a bad rate. I like Compile Driver. I think that's just a fine damage card. We're not getting the big powerful ones. So Scrap Ooze. This is basically a gamble, and it'll get worse and worse every time until we find it. Feel free to read that if you'd like. But we got it on the first try, and it was a good one. Bronze Scales. Very good for defensive builds. Start each combat with 3 thorns, so if an enemy attacks us, they take 3 damage. Luckily, we didn't have to take a ton of damage searching through. I always, unless I'm about to die, I will always go to the end to get that free relic. And I love these double cold snap hands. And we can go ahead and make sure we don't take any damage this turn. So they alternate, right? This turn, these two on the outside give me dazes, which are trash cards they put in my deck. And the one in the center attacked, and now they switch. I'm happy we took recursion and made it as cheap as we did. And being able to get rid of one of them right off the bat feels great, because now we're also going to be able to block this guy. So this battle is all about focusing one of them down as quickly as possible. Two of them is manageable, but at this point in the game, fighting three of them is very difficult. Okay, now we've got a ton of block, all the block we need. And now we'll just do some damage. So we're going to focus on the outside one just because they took the brunt of the damage. And I think this is considered like a boss battle. I think so. It's hard for me to remember now that I'm saying that out loud. And I say that because I think we might get a relic after this. Don't quote me on it though. And yeah, Cold Snap just significantly better than a strike at this point. Perfect. No damage. So you'll see there the cards, they have the ethereal. Oh, and he killed himself. So this was an elite fight. The cards there had the ethereal annotation on them, which meant that if they're not played at the end of by the end of the turn, they disappear. So that's kind of their whole shtick. We pick up some gold. We get the Mercury Hourglass, which kind of synergizes a bit with Bronze Scales. It's just like that chipping damage. Also kind of synergizes with Cracked Core. So at the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. I like that a lot. And we get a great potion, the block potion. Let's look at Cold-Headed and see what it does. 1 frost, 2 cards. I honestly like this better than the draw 3 cards. Leap is just a better defend, so I can't really hate that. And I'll take it there. So at the start of this battle, they should all take 3 damage, I think. Yep, and there they go. And we can dual cast someone, but the trick to these guys is to try and kill them at the same time if you can. You don't have to. But if we're going to pile driver, we want to do it before. Oh, that's a nice draw. Let's get that 9 block. Yeah, that worked out perfectly. Because if you kill them one at a time, on death they apply 2 vulnerable. So killing one right at the start of the battle will make the other one much stronger. Let's do zap, recursion. And then we'll want to cold snap before we do that, but that'll just be the end of the game. So, end of the battle, I should say. And ball lightning. So we have finally we get some interesting choices here. There are 3 types of orbs. There's dark, lightning, and frost. And actually there's 4 types of orbs. There's chaos as well, if I remember correctly, which gives you energy. I think that's what it's called. I think it's called chaos. But this gives us an opportunity to get our 3rd type of orb, which would power up all those attack cards we've been taking, those compile drivers. We have 2 of them right now. So what that does, dark, increases damage every turn. It doesn't do anything. It just sits in your orb slot until it rotates to the front and does a huge burst damage that gets bigger every turn that you don't use it. Ball lightning is just a strictly better strike. And then Sunder is a big finishing move, which I like a lot. See what this is upgraded? 32. Yeah, when it's upgraded, it's so much more powerful. But Ball Lightning is just a solid card. You can't. I don't think I could go wrong with any of these. Oh man, if you could get a lot of these, that could be pretty awesome. This is fairly early in the run. I kind of want a big finisher like Sunder. And I think I'm going to take it. Being able to reset your entire turn is such a strong ability. And we're such good health right now that I think we can afford to come in here and smith Sunder. making the likelihood of us getting that kill and resetting our energy much, much higher. And let's fight the boss. It's also a great card against this boss because he has mode shift. We need to deal 27 damage to him now to get him to change to a defensive stance. And we'll just use this now. Boom. Takes a huge chunk of damage. We don't have to worry about him attacking us. We have some nice passive damage. So if we just want to sit back behind our blocks, because he's going to get Thorn's damage as well, just like us. So we can defend. You know what? Let's use our block potion. And then dual cast basically bypasses all of that defense. We take no damage. We manage to do some extra damage to it on a turn that we otherwise might not. And I love the chipping damage of the Mercury Hourglass. Over the course of a long battle, like a boss battle, this will do easily at least 24 damage. Okay, leap I like to see. Iron Wave's a net gain. We're taking a lot here. It's just whether or not... It's probably smarter just to go ahead and defend. We take no damage. And he switches back, but he hurts himself by 6. And once again, another chip from the Hourglass. Very cool. Oh, wow. I was going to say, let's hope to get another defensive card. That's basically defensive card. Sadly, we're only going to get 6 defense here, but he's going to hit us hard. This is his hard-hitting turn as a boss. Most bosses have that one turn where they really get you. But he will take 12 damage from his assault. And of course we get recursion on a turn where... Look at all these defensive cards we really needed last turn. I mean, none of this matters. We could just not play anything. It doesn't matter. There are things you can get that allow you to carry over block. And here we go, another really heavy hitting turn. We need to make him flip. And the best thing to do that with is going to be Sunder. So there we go. So we're not taking that heavy hit. We can play defensive once again. And we can afford to strike him. We'll take pretty minimal damage. I wish there was a way to see what turn we were on in this boss battle. I don't think there is. Here we can leap, channel Frost. We're going to go up to 15, so we'll take 1 damage. We can either do 16 right now. I think it's probably just better. Do something like that. Yeah, but getting past 47 of that's pretty tough. We could go double block, go up to 16 block, and still hit him for a bit. But Sunder is just our strongest card, and it's going to get us very close to winning this, probably next turn, hopefully. Actually, it will. He's going to kill himself right now. Yeah. Should have figured that. Plus, we still had the Mercury Hourglass at the beginning of the next turn. So now we get a huge chunk of gold. We get a rare card. Lose 3 focus. That's awful. It's a strong card, but I don't quite like that. It's Plasma. Plasma orbs were the ones I was trying to think of. And then Creative AI. At the start of your turn, add a random power card into your hand. So this, and they're all very strong cards. I like Meteor Strike as well. Hmm. But you see here it costs 5 energy to use. Yeah, we don't have any of the energy-based relics yet. We may pick one up here, but I think we're just going to be happy to take creative AI. Yeah, and we get some awesome choices here. At the start of each combat, channel 1 plasma. So it's basically giving us a free energy. It's a very strong relic. Choose and add 5 cards to your deck. That would be fine. But Black Star is one of the strongest relics in the game. And if the next 2 floors are full of elites, which we hope they are, this one relic, which doesn't do anything by itself, can turn into, 2 relics on the next floor, and then maybe 3 relics on the 3rd floor. So, we're passing up a very strong relic, sadly. But I think you have to go with Black Star. So here we go. Here we go. Act 2, the city. Yeah, so let's start like we did last time by checking the floor and mapping out our path. I'm looking at elites. So I see a path here for 2, 3. Yeah, and that sells me on it pretty much instantly. We're going to want to take this path here. Hit this guy, come up this branch, here, and then call that good. The sad thing is, the game kind of knows that that's what you want to do. So they're closing off any chance we have of going to a shop. So by the end of this floor, we'll have a ton of money, but we won't have anything to do with it. So, yeah, let's get into it and hope we can take on this floor and all the elites. So this guy here has plated armor, which is a pretty annoying ability. I think it's worth it to defend this early. Man, it sucks because we really want to get past. Every time we hit him, we're going to wreck his armor. And then, of course, put his health down. But I think at this point, we just want to survive. We're choosing a pretty difficult path. And he also has, like, healing that he does. Yeah, it's powerful. But we're not going to... We need to fight multiple smaller enemies for Sunder to really shine. Let's drink this. Pop him for a little bit of damage, weaken him. And we managed to negate that effect, whatever it was. Creative AI. I do like to see that. But I don't think we're going to be able to play it this turn. And that's kind of the sad part of this card. It's very expensive. There's so many other things we could do with 3 energy right now. It's going to get a little heal. There are cards in the defects roster that he can pick up that allow him to heal himself at the end of combat. We take no damage. He's going to end up taking kind of like 9 this turn here. Alright, let's draw some cards. Do we just have him dead? Yes, of course. Very good. Stacking up the gold. So here we get a chance to get an upgraded compile driver, which we're making decent use of. Force field costs 1 less for each power card played this combat. This is a great card. We just don't have any powers. And we could pick up capacitor, which I think is what we're going to do. it's going to give us more orb slots. I think we're able to generate lots of different orbs, and I like to have them like this. So now we have a potential 5. Get ourselves some block. And we have enough block to cover them, so we'll just attack. As long as they're flying, they take 50% less damage. But they're all going to get hit by Mercury Hourglass. These types of enemies, they attack multiple times for really small amounts of damage, and our thorns will absolutely crush them. I was going to say, Sunder would be a good draw. It would one-shot these dudes. Either one. But here, all we really need to do to beat them is to defend ourselves. Sadly, we don't have many defensive cards. Really hoping to draw something there that would help us, but we did not. I was hoping to get lucky. If you can damage them 3 times, they fall to the ground and don't attack you. So he's going to buff himself. He's dead. And sadly, we have no way to heal. Maybe we'll pick it up soon. That would be great for our run. Alright, Genetic Algorithm, gain 1 block. Permanently increase this card's block by 3. This is a card that you want to get as early in your run as possible. It's already upgraded. And you just play it every single time it comes, no matter what. And then by the end of your run, it's a huge 1 costed block. If this was upgraded, I would not hate that at all. Gain block equal to the number of cards in your discard pile. Plus 3. If this was upgraded, I would take this. I'm going to take that and see if we can make it work. We just have to play it every single time we see it. Remove a card from your deck. I don't think we have any cards that we need to remove. So I'm not going to spend 75 gold to remove a card. If we had a curse, that's basically what that's for. It's the game kind of giving us an out. Here we can transform a card. Could probably transform this, and I think if we did, it would turn into something that's also upgraded. But I'm much more tempted to transform, let's say, a defend. This is basically a defend. These are kind of like defends. And then we have leap. So I think I'm just going to get rid of one of these. And boom. So we get a skim. Alright. Not awful. Draw some cards. I don't think this is an elite fight. Hard to remember. Man, Sunder. We're going to take a lot of damage here. Try and focus down the Mystic. The Mystic heals and the big boy hits and blocks. They're kind of a duo. But she's not healing this turn, and we managed to block the debuff, which is nice. Yeah, like I said, we have to play this. Otherwise, we should never have taken it. So let's play it. And this is where having that 1 extra energy would come in handy. Being able to play 4 cards a turn instead of 3. We're not taking a lot of damage here. She's going to heal herself. Yeah. That feels good. We've almost got her down. Here we just... doesn't matter. They're not attacking us, and we were lucky that our lightning passive hit her and killed her. So taking him out by himself is just super easy. There was almost certainly a way to do that without even taking the 1 damage. But I like getting this online. Let's skim for something defensive. There we go. And then we can just, let's just zap. So then we get a nice, 6 block per turn. Ooh, let's recur. and then dual cast. So 15. We'll do this first because we might draw a better version of a different block. And we're going to block all that damage, so we're good. And because he's attacking 3 times, he takes 9 damage. Sunder not really showing its worth because we just keep getting it at awkward times. Okay. Deal 15 damage, reduce this card's cost by 1 this combat. Pretty good if you can get them early, especially if you can get them upgraded. Sweeping Beam is nice. It's AoE. They're all fine. I would say this is the weakest card, but might actually be the best one in our deck. I like Streamline. By the end of a boss battle, for instance, this can just be a free, 15, 20 damage. And I could see this being good if we were sitting currently at like 4 energy or 5 energy. But we're still kind of at the base 3. I feel like its cost is a bit prohibitive. I want more AoE, so I'm going to take that. And now we go to a boss battle. And Sweeping Beam is decent against these dudes. If we draw it or not, who knows. And we got to play it, like I said. It'll be a 7 block next turn, so it's already as good as a normal block. But this is going to be a tough battle. We need to focus one of them down. They all just do a bit too much damage. The one in the middle is honestly the least scary. It's the 2 guys on the end, and you'll see here we're near dead. God, this sucks to have a losing run. Yeah, I think we're just dead now. Damn. Before we give up, let's see what we can draw. This is free. We can dual cast. So we're already... no. We need to play this to not take any damage. Yeah, like I said, there are cards that you can get that heal you, and we didn't really get any of them, sadly. This is one of those turns where Sunder really comes in handy. Like that. But sadly, I think it's just perhaps too late. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Oh no, maybe not. Because we can Iron Wave here. We're scrapping, guys. We went for the greedy kind of picks here, but we're going to get 2 relics after this fight. We've just taken so much damage. Juzu Bracelet. Normal enemy combats are no longer encountered in those rooms. That's good. That gives us more opportunities to get better stuff. Lantern. Start each combat with an additional energy. That's very good. That's one of those energy relics we were hoping for. And now we get a chance for another card. This is very good. We're going to take this. And sadly, the next healing spot is here. So unless we can do a couple of these battles flawlessly, we're just going to be dead. 3 HP is just not a lot to work with. The best thing I can think is maybe we can pull through, do something special with that. Luckily, he's not attacking us this turn because he just would have killed us. He has Malleable. Upon receiving attack damage, gain 3 block. Oh, wow. don't quite think buffer is the answer to our prayers, sadly. I think it's only going to prevent the first 7 damage. So sadly, I think we are going to die here. If I understand buffer correctly. Yeah, and I do. Dang. So I'm still going to upload this, guys. It was 45 minutes. It was fun. For those of you who've never seen this before, you get kind of a taste of it. I explained a lot of things. Next time I do the run, I am probably not going to focus so much on explaining mechanics and just try and do it faster and see, you know, how far we can get. I've beaten this many times, so never fear that, you know, maybe I'm not up to snuff to do it and show you guys the late game content. Definitely can do it. That's not even the hard modes, the Ascension runs. Sometimes it really just is RNG in the cards that you get. And I don't know if there was anything we could have done there any differently other than not be so greedy in our path choices. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I love TCGs. I love like dungeon crawler style games, any kind of with any kind of RPG elements. So this is right up my alley. If you're watching my channel, I hope you like it as well. But guys, once again, my name is Brett, and my channel is Good Talk Gaming. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Take care.